Is death really the end, or is it just a doorway to another beginning? This is a question that's haunted us for centuries. We spend our time building lives, making friends and gathering memories, all while living in the shadow of this great, silent unknown. The fear of that last moment, of simply ceasing to be, is maybe the most human feeling there is. But what if that ending isn't real? A wise monk once compared our consciousness to a flame. When one candle burns out, its flame can light the next one. The candle isn't the same, the wax and wick are totally new, but the light itself, the fire, carries on. What if your consciousness never actually dies? What if it just continues its journey, passing from one life to the next, like that flame being passed from one candle to another? Today, we're going to explore this idea through the lens of ancient Buddhist wisdom, a perspective that changes death from a terrifying end into a meaningful transition. In the West, we tend to see life as a straight line. It has a beginning, a middle, and a very final end. But Buddhist philosophy sees it differently. It sees a circle. This cycle, known as samsara, is a potentially endless loop of birth, death, and rebirth. It's a journey that all of us are on, not just humans, but all living things across different realms of existence. Imagine a huge ocean. Each of our lives is like a single wave that rises from the water, takes on a unique shape, travels for a bit, and then crashes back onto the shore. From our spot on the sand, it looks like the wave is gone. It's over. But did the water itself disappear? Of course not. It just returned to the ocean, ready to become a new wave. That's the core of the Buddhist view on rebirth. It's not about some permanent, unchanging soul, an Atman, that just gets dropped into a new body. In fact, a central teaching in Buddhism is anatta, or no self. It's the idea that there's no solid, separate you to begin with. Instead, what we call ourself is just a temporary mashup of constantly changing parts. Our body, our feelings, perceptions, habits, and our consciousness. So, what is it that continues? What's the water in our ocean analogy? It's a stream of consciousness, a flowing current of mental energy. This stream, or vijnana, isn't a fixed thing. It's a dynamic process. It is this subtle stream of awareness, colored by all the imprints of our life, that moves from one existence to the next. From this perspective, death isn't a final stop. It's a profound and natural change. Okay, so if our consciousness is a stream flowing through lifetimes, what's steering it? What decides if the next wave is a gentle ripple or a tidal wave? The answer is one of the most misunderstood concepts from the East: karma. Karma isn't some cosmic judge handing out rewards and punishments, and it's definitely not fate. In Buddhism, karma simply means action, but more specifically, the intention behind that action. It's the universal law of cause and effect. Every intentional thing we do, say, or think plants a seed in our stream of consciousness. Think of your mind like a garden. Actions that come from a place of kindness, generosity, and clarity are like planting seeds for beautiful flowers and fruit. These actions create positive karma, leading to better conditions and happier rebirths, maybe in the human world or even in heavenly realms. On the other hand, actions that are rooted in greed, anger, and ignorance are like planting seeds for thorny weeds and poison ivy. These actions create negative karma, leading to suffering and rebirth in less fortunate situations. What Buddhism describes as the animal, hungry ghost, or hell realms. Now, these realms aren't forever. They aren't a permanent heaven or hell. They're temporary states, like different climates where the seeds of our karma happen to sprout. The journey of samsara keeps going through all of them. This is why the ultimate goal in Buddhism isn't just to get a better rebirth, but to step off the merry-go-round completely. The goal is nirvana, to put out the fires of greed, hatred, and ignorance, and become totally free from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. The life you have right now is the direct result of seeds you've planted in the past. And every single moment, you're planting the seeds for your future. That isn't meant to be scary, it's meant to be empowering. You are the gardener of your own destiny. This is where the monk's wisdom gets even deeper, especially when we look at the process of dying itself. Buddhist teachings say that your state of mind at the moment of death is incredibly important. A mind that's calm, peaceful, and compassionate is thought to create a smooth, positive transition. But fear, anger, or clinging can create a kind of turbulence that pushes the consciousness toward a rougher landing. Tibetan Buddhism in particular has this incredibly detailed map of what happens after the body shuts down. It describes a transitional state called the Bardo, which is said to last for up to 49 days between one life and the next. This whole process is famously laid out in the Bardo, which you might know as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The journey through the Bardo is said to happen in stages. First is the Bardo of dying, where the body's physical elements dissolve and consciousness pulls back from the senses. This is followed by the Bardo of Dharmata, or ultimate reality. Here, the consciousness supposedly gets a glimpse of the pure, luminous nature of the mind, a brilliant, clear light. For someone who has trained their mind, this is a golden opportunity for liberation. But for most of us, the experience is just too overwhelming, and we get pulled away by the force of our past karma. The consciousness then enters the third stage, the karmic bardo of becoming. In this dreamlike state, the mind is hit with a flood of visions and feelings, some beautiful, some terrifying, but all of them are just projections of its own past actions. The karmic winds, created by a lifetime of habits, start to blow the consciousness toward a new birth, pulling it irresistibly toward conditions that match its karmic signature. This is why the Bardo Thadol is traditionally read to the person who has passed away, to guide their consciousness, remind them that everything they're seeing is a reflection of their own mind, and help them find a good rebirth. Now, this detailed map of the Bardo is mostly found in Tibetan traditions. Other schools, like Theravada Buddhism, generally teach that rebirth happens instantly, with the stream of consciousness flowing right into a new existence with no gap in between. But in every tradition, the principle is the same. The end of one life is the direct cause for the beginning of the next. This brings us to the biggest, most mind-bending question in this whole teaching. If Buddhism says there's no permanent, unchanging self or soul, the anatta doctrine, then what, exactly, gets reborn? Let's go back to our monk's candle flame. When the flame from a dying candle lights a new one, is the new flame the same as the old flame, or is it a different one? The answer is, it's neither. It's not the exact same flame, because the first candle is gone. But it's not a completely different flame either, because it was directly caused by the first one. There's a continuity, a transfer of energy, but not a transfer of some thing. This is exactly how Buddhism explains rebirth. It's not a solid me that gets reborn. It's the continuity of a process. It's that stream of consciousness, carrying all our karmic baggage, our habits, our unresolved issues, and all the good we've done. It's the momentum of our mind that just keeps flowing. The Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh used the analogy of a cloud. A cloud doesn't die, it just transforms into rain, or snow, or mist. The cloud isn't gone, it's just changed its form. You can't find that exact same cloud again, but its essence continues in the rain that waters the fields. In the same way, your consciousness doesn't just end. It continues in a new form, shaped by the life you're living right this second. In a way, we're being reborn in every moment, as our thoughts and cells die and are replaced. Death is just a much bigger version of the change that's happening inside you right now. The monk's teaching on rebirth isn't really about death. It's a profound teaching about life. The idea that our consciousness continues isn't just a comforting thought. It's a call to live more consciously. It completely changes how we see the present moment. Every thought, every word, and every action matters, because it's not just shaping this life, it's sending ripples into the future. That fear of a final end can be replaced with a deep sense of responsibility and purpose. We're not just living for these next few decades, we're cultivating a stream of awareness that will flow on. The main ideas are simple, but can change your life. Your consciousness is a continuous flow, not a fixed thing. That flow is guided by karma, your intentional actions, and the present moment is the only place you have the power to shape your future. This ancient wisdom offers a powerful way of looking at our own mortality. It doesn't pretend death doesn't happen, but it places it within a grander, meaningful cycle. We are the architects of our own journey, the sculptors of our own mind, life after life. The monk's teaching isn't about dying, it's about living, because if the flame is going to be passed on, how brightly will you choose to burn today? What do you think about this journey of consciousness? Does this perspective change how you see your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to explore another piece of this timeless wisdom, watch our another video. Also consider subscribing to our channel. That could help us a lot. Thank you so much for watching.